Hey, this is Chip Taylor coming to you from Zalisi, Ukraine, where we have a small farm where we also do psychological support for anxiety disorders, mostly related to the war with Russia. And we have this small organic farm here where we grow ingredients for Mexican food and make that available mostly to the expats living here in Ukraine. And I was on this farm from 2016 until February of 2022 when the violence escalated. And we have been back on the farm. Today makes 8 days since we returned. And I had forgotten how much of a detective you have to be to work here in this little farm in this part of the world. You can't just run down to Walmart. You can't just call an electrician or a vet, and you have to figure stuff out yourself. And so today, I finally got the water running in here in the greenhouse, our big greenhouse. This one's 29 feet by 75 feet, and as you can see by the structure, it's pretty robust. It'll handle the snow here. And so I've got a little bit of arugula and some parsley sprouted or seeded. It hadn't sprouted yet, and it may not. The seeds were a couple of years old, and so I'm not sure we're going to get germination off of it. But I was able to at least hook up the pump. The pump has water here has always been a challenge. We've got 3 wells. 2 of them actually have pumps, and one of them's a regular crank with a bucket, that kind of stuff. That's what we use when we've lost all electricity, which has happened more than once. And especially when the pipes froze the first year we were here, unexpectedly. We've since learned how to handle 10 below zero and keep the pipes from freezing. And so what I've got now is an opportunity to get all these beds prepped and set up. You can see the feed bags in the back. That's all full of chicken manure that we pulled out of the chicken coops before we left. It's been sitting here for almost 2 years now. And I'll put those in the beds, get everything prepped, get the irrigation set up. I've got probably a solid maybe 8 weeks before we start getting really solid freezes. And normally we would have a frost by now. September 27th was when we had our first frost in 2016. We haven't had a winter like that since. And so perhaps things are, perhaps we will have climate change in our favor. We'll see. Anyway, just giving you an update on what we're doing here. We talk a lot about small farm agriculture. A thing called spin farming, small plot intensive. Now, we do a lot of stuff that we can turn over fairly quickly, 45 days, and then we can replant. We can cut a lot of arugula several times before we have to reseed the bed. But then we also do a lot of things that take 150 days. Some of our Carolina Reapers, some of our hatch peppers, they take a good bit longer here. And our jalapenos and habaneros and that kind of stuff are usually about 120, 130 days from the time we plant to the time we harvest. We will start seeding in January and February. Inside, we've got a couple of grow rooms. I'll show you those after we've cleaned them up a little bit. This place has been sitting idle for 580 days, I think it was, that we were off the farm, and pretty much nothing happened here. When we went into Denaitze yesterday, Denaitze is the next largest village, 15,000 people. Our little village has got about 500. Went to mass at the Catholic Church. It was their feast day, and it was good to see old friends. It was a pretty powerful service. You know, the country's at war. We've been away for a long time. We were able to see our friends. We're missing a lot of young men who have gone off and will not be coming back. It's an interesting time to live here in Ukraine. If this is something you like, please hit like, share it with your friends. If you've already subscribed, you're awesome. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, and you have a blessed day.